contains spoilers and is likely to offend MCU stans and chills. I'm in danger!
If you was hoping Marvel and Disney had learnt their lessons from the abysmal show that was Phase 4 or were done with tearing down your favourite heroes that the previous phases had done so well to build up, well, I'm sorry to tell you they have not, as this new so-called Ant-Man 3 is just more of the same MCU Phase 4 trash, and I say so-called Ant-Man 3 as not only in typical MCU fashion is he sidelined in his own movie by less interesting, more diverse characters. Quantumania feels far more like a sequel to Disney Plus's Loki than a true follow-up to the events that unfolded in Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is not because the movie is more serious in tone, as the trailers implied, however, as the same overused quip-like jokes are in just about every serious or tense moment. Yup, that MCU trend is ever present here, and it will never go away. And I get that Ant-Man movies are meant to be more silly and have a ton of comedy, but the problem here is it just doesn't fit with what's going on. And worse yet, I don't think a single joke actually lands. It all just feels off and forced. And again, yes, I know Paul Rudd's charm is normally unrivaled, but it is not enough to stop Ant-Man's latest adventure from shrinking out of your memory the moment the movie ends. But if you've ever wanted to see MODOK's tiny little butt cheeks, then well, at least there's that.
Are you serious?
As I said, Ant-Man 3's sole purpose is just to set up Kang and Loki Season 2, and because of that, it just feels like a massive waste of time. The movie goes as follows. Scott's enjoying life, his family tell him that he shouldn't enjoy anything and he should be helping and doing more bad jokes, old woman Wasp fails to tell anyone about her time in the quantum realm and the world-ending threat that is down there, then there's more bad jokes, his daughter makes a doohickey, that sends signals to the quantum realm, a couple more bad jokes, they get sucked in, then we are treated to visually uninspired green screen CGI backdrops that are visually uninspired CGI green screen backdrops. They see weird stuff and talk more. They meet pointless and bland characters that are only there to move the plot forward or to die. Couple more bad jokes. MODOK and Kang arrive. You guessed it right, more bad jokes, more pointless talking, big CGI fight, and some bad jokes. The end. Post-credit scene that is the only plot point that matters in relevance to the MCU going forward. The real end. Sounds boring, doesn't it? And that's because it is. The problem with Ant-Man 3 is the same problem I have found with most of Marvel's movies of late. They lack any real soul and heart. Believe me, this one scene in Endgame packs more depth than anything in Phase 4 and so far Phase 5. And the main focus of the current MCU just seems to be releasing movies that don't tell a solid and engaging story, but instead just pumping out content to set up the new characters and the next product for us to consume.
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next products.
And for the love of God, why do these movies just rely on tearing down beloved MCU characters in a vain attempt to make the new, less interesting characters more appealing to the audience? This would be fine if these new characters were actually likable or went through any sort of story arc. Remember when Tony Stark invented, well, basically anything, and you got to see the painstaking process of how he got there? That was great, right? Well, now we just get given girl boss characters who can create the world's most technologically advanced MacGuffins with limited resource and materials because they are just that damn good. Not just content with being the best though, these new less interesting characters and writers must belittle the supposed star of the show, the main character of the movie. You know, the one whose name is in the title? Yeah. They must be constantly mocked, scolded, saved, and outdone. And in this movie, even told they must do better. They must do more. Yeah, forget that our good old pal Scott Lang had a major role in the defeat of Thanos and bringing back everybody blipped out of existence by the snap. That just wasn't enough.
You've got to do better, Senator.
First they destroyed Hulk, then it was Thor, and now Ant-Man. No wonder this goddamn franchise is dying. It happened in the comics, folks, and now it's happening here with the exact same results. Ant-Man 3 also continues the major sin of bastardizing a fan-favorite character from the comics in the form of MODOK. If you thought Red Guardian, Taskmaster, Phase 4 Abomination, Gore, or even Namor were horribly brought to life on the big screen, then wait till you see MODOK in action. It's goddamn embarrassing.
No.
I'm not sure how many characters that could and should have larger roles in the MCU must be destroyed before there are literally none left. But don't worry, we don't need a large gallery of well-known and loved villains, because it looks like the villain of basically every MCU project going forward will probably just be some variation of Kang. And sure, Jonathan Majors does do a solid, if not very imposing job at portraying Marvel's new big bad. I honestly don't see how a character that we've already seen killed off not once but twice on screen is actually ever going to feel like a genuine threat. Oh wait, scratch that, I do know. And that's because most of the actual good Avengers are gone, and the strong ones that were left are just shells of their former selves, which just leaves us with the bargain bin versions of our actual favourite heroes to save the day. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I'm rooting for Kang on this one. But the biggest, most unforgivable sin this movie commits is the fact they don't get Michael Penner back for this movie. We miss you, Louise, and this movie missed you too. You deserve better. So let's close this all up. Ant-Man 3 is just another bad MCU movie that ends up feeling like an extremely disjointed sci-fi flick made up entirely of actors running around on green screens. No characters have any real arc or grow in any meaningful way, and the end result makes this movie feel like it exists solely just to introduce Kang onto the big screen. You could literally replace the main cast with any other MCU heroes and it would make no difference. The Wasp is barely in the movie and only pops up constantly to save Ant-Man, and every other character just feels like they exist just to exist. So for me, Ant-Man 3 is just a bad start to Phase 5. The movie's plot boils down to an hour of nothingness, then an extremely messy final battle. The movie lacks any real heart and is the equivalent of colourful, soulless, visual CGI diarrhea. It by no means reaches the lowest of the lows that Phase 4 had to offer, but as an introduction to Phase 5, well, Marvel and Disney, you done shit the bed here.
No, you didn't, fess up! I did not poop the bed!
It's ever so slightly less woke, but goddamn is it still broke. Don't waste your time or money, stay at home and watch Space Sweepers instead.
Yo, what up, Dogs? Paul Rudd here, actor and certified young person.